Good morning, I'm Rebekah Ricks. I'm here at the Homeschool Connection in Winter Haven, Florida, where our goal is to connect home and school, and we're with our weekly show, The Brew. And The Brew is a mixture of people, events, or things that come together to form a more potent whole, and we want to make your whole a whole lot better. And today on our brew, we're doing an extra shot of espresso because it is Friday morning, and who doesn't need an extra shot of espresso on Friday mornings? I know I do. I do every morning, but Friday mornings especially. So today we're going to go through and we're going to do our verse of the week is Joshua 1:9. And it says, Have not I commanded thee? Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and have a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. And that kind of is a great verse for the week. It kind of starts out, have not I commanded thee, with a question. Haven't I told you this before? Have you ever had a friend where you're discouraged and you can call that person and they said, you know everything's going to be okay. You know what? Sometimes we just need someone to say it's going to be okay. You know everything's going to work out fine. That's what God's saying to us. Have not I commanded thee? I've told you this before. Be strong and have a good courage. Man, those words are so good. Be strong and courageous. I kind of feel like that covers your outside and your inside. I know that sounds funny, but your outside needs to be strong and your inside is the part that needs to have courage. You know, God's going to take care of us all the way around. Be strong and have a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. Wow, when I was reading that, it kind of spoke to me to think, don't be afraid. We're fearful of so many things, but then it says, neither be thou dismayed. Wow, what is dismay? Well, to me, dismay is just worry or disgust. You know, we sometimes let our worry lead into our fear. We let little things worry us. We're dismayed by something. And then that worry comes and we let it nag us and nag us and nag us. And then slowly we become where we're completely afraid, where we just can't do anything. And the Bible says God's not given us the spirit of fear, but a power and love and a strong mind. You know, he's trying to tell us it's easy as women to sit here and be afraid, to be dismayed, to sit down and look at everything around you and just say, oh man, it's so much, it's a balance. So, true confession time. I'm not a crier. I don't like to cry. I don't like to be emotional. I don't. I will not watch sad movies because you know you're going to cry. I have never seen Titanic because I know at the end he dies, and I just feel like that is too much of a traumatic experience for me. I don't want to put myself through a traumatic experience like that, okay? So I don't like to cry. I don't like to be sad. I like everything to be happy. And I know not everything's going to be happy. I know that sounds like that, but I just don't, I'm not a crier. I just, if I cry, then it's really traumatic. Well, this week I was driving home from work and I remember I was sitting there and I'm like, I want to sit down and cry. Like I want to pull the car over and just sit down and cry. And I'm like, oh, why? And then I started thinking about all the things I have to worry about. And I mean, everybody's worry is pretty much the same thing. You know, as a woman, we have more worries I think we carry than other people, but I have a 7, almost 8-month-old, and I was worried, oh man, am I giving enough time to my child? Am I giving enough time to work? Am I giving enough time to my husband? Am I balancing everything how I should? Am I not? Can I get it all done? I don't know. And then I start getting, then I say my ADD kicks in, and then it gets bigger, and then it gets bigger, and it gets bigger. And then all of a sudden that little bit of worry turns to fear. And then once you're afraid, then there's nothing you can do. You've hit that point where your mind has just gone wild and you become afraid. You've let that worry get you to there. And the verse says, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. Don't even let yourself get from the worry to the fear point. You know, if we let that, it balloons. And here's why. You know, we can say all the time, Nike, just do it. The verse says, be strong and have a good courage. Just be strong, have a good courage. Pull your bootstraps up. You can do it. But you know what? It's more than that. I mean, because if I have to do it by myself, and I hate asking anyone for help. I hate going to someone and relying on them for anything. I don't like to do it. It's not part of me. It's not part of who I am. But here's what the verse says. All of us who don't like going to someone, we don't like someone knowing when we're vulnerable or not capable or whatever it is. The verse doesn't just stop. It doesn't just say, be strong and of a good courage. Just do it. Just suck it up and do it. Which sometimes I think is how the world has to look at things, everyone else. But the rest of the verse says, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. You know, we're not alone. And that moment where you sit there and you feel overwhelmed and you feel dismayed and you feel like you can't do anything and you feel like there's no one you can talk to because you don't want to have to share all your ish to everybody else, that God is there. Wherever you go, he's with there whithersoever thou goest. No, you're not alone. We're not alone. He's there to help. You know, I always tell everyone, you're not alone here in your homeschooling or in your schooling or in your help your child. We're here to help. But you know, more than us here to help, God's here to help. And he will guide you and help you in that way. You know, sometimes we do need to sit down and just cry and have that emotion and be emotional for a minute and be dismayed. But you know what? Always remember, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. Wherever I go, he's there. He knows where I've been. He knows where I'm going. He knows everything that I'm going through more than I know. And he sees the path at the end, the light at the end of the tunnel, even when I don't see it. So even if you're having a sunshiny, wonderful week, or you're having the worst week of your life, God is there with you to help you and keep you there. And so hopefully that was a little extra shot of espresso for you. And remember, be strong and have a good courage. God is with you wherever you go. And don't forget, you're not alone. We are here to help at the Homeschool Connection. On Monday afternoon, we'll be back with our brew, and we'll be talking more about educational things on our Mondays. But Friday mornings is always our little devotional to give you an extra shot of espresso. So if you can, remember to like us, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We're on Instagram and also on YouTube. But hopefully this was a little bit of encouragement for you, and we'll see you Monday.